Hello, this is Winnie Dow, and this is what I wore this month, and this is March 2015. So, this month was very particular because I have IBS, and this was the first time that IBS was triggered by my menstruation. It was horrible, it felt horrible, it was super painful, and everything started 5 days before my period. I started cramping really bad, but I wasn't sure if it was IBS related or menstruation related. So I got ready anyways, and I was wearing pads just in case because it felt like I was just about to have it, even though I still had 5 more days to go. I'm pretty regular with my period, so I knew it was too early. Um, then I started spotting, so I decided to wear my new Minky pad. It's the first one that I made with Minky, and I love it very much. I got this fabric from Fabric Swap, and I just wanted to try Minky before buying it in big quantities. I love how it feels. It wasn't that hard to sew it. Um, but the problem is that it didn't soak everything in as fast as it should have. So I bled that. Okay, the moment my period really came, it was horrible. It was like a dam had been opened. Um, Everything got covered in blood. Everything. Sorry if that's TMI, but everything got covered in blood and it leaked to my panties. It was horrible. It felt horrible because that had never happened to me before. Well, probably when I was a teenager, but not as a woman. So uh, I took a shower and then decided to wear this one, which is fleece backed, but it's a heavy one. So I decided to wear this one, and it felt so much better because I knew that the blood was going straight to the core. And I thought I didn't have any pad made with PUL, so I decided to make one really fast. And because I had IBS and it was really bad IBS, I decided to make a pad really fast, and I made a PUL backed overnight pad. So I had to go get my husband from work, and I knew that I was gonna need something with protection all over, like in the front and in the back, because I was really sick that day. So I made this one, um, and even though I have menstrual cups, I was so swollen inside that I wasn't able to use any of them. I have a Diva cup. I wasn't even trying this one because this is a size B, so it's very um, long. It's very long and it's firm. So I wasn't even gonna try this one. I that wasn't even an option at that moment. That's how painful it was. And I had bought Meluna. Um, this is a medium classic, and I tried to give this one a go, but it was still too painful. I had tried it on a dry run and it was perfect. It felt so good. I wasn't sure about the material when I first got it, but I don't like how it feels in my fingers when I wash it, but it works and I don't have any reaction, so I think I'm gonna continue using it. But at that moment, I wasn't able to put this to insert this one. I also have a couple that I was planning to distash because it was too soft for me. It felt like silk paper, and whenever I got it in, um, it would not pop open. It would just stay like this, and I thought, well, it doesn't work for me. I'm just gonna distash it. But I wasn't, I didn't get to that. Um, so I tried this one on, but everything was too swollen. So I decided not to at that moment. And that was my first day. So I wore this to get my husband from work. And I wasn't bleeding by then anymore. So this pretty pad didn't get covered in blood or anything. So, and because it was clean, I wore it to sleep. And again, in the morning, it wasn't covered in blood or anything. It didn't even have stains. Whenever I wiped myself, I could see some blood, but that was it. So the next day, I wore this one, which is fleece backed. It is a heavy. I wore this one and no stains at all. No, I mean, no blood at all, nothing. So I thought I wasn't bleeding at that time. But just in case, I made another one with PUL on the back, and I made it really fast so I didn't hide the PUL, so I could go get my husband from work, and felt secure that nothing was gonna happen. So I made this one, and again, probably stained a little bit here. That was it. No blood, which was great. And this was only my second day. So after I came from getting my husband from work, I wore this one, which has hidden PUL, and still nothing. But at this moment, because it was the second day with my period, I felt like I could try to get a cup in. So I didn't even try the Diva cup or the Meluna. I went straight with this one, and it worked. I did a C fold, and as soon as I inserted the rim into the vagina, I popped it open and it remained open. It didn't collapse or it didn't flip or anything inside of me. So it was great. And because of that, this is now my baby, and I'm not gonna restash it ever. Whenever I have a flare up, I know that I can count on my coupling. So that time, that day for nighttime, I used this overnight. It wasn't really necessary, but I just didn't want to wake up covered in blood, and I was still unsure because it was only my second day. So I thought, well, maybe this is just a fluke, and I'm gonna, at some moment, I'm gonna bleed again, like that first day, but nothing happened. So I woke up and it was clean. I was still bleeding a little bit whenever I wiped myself. So um, I know that I still had my period at that moment. So then on the third day, I used this one in the morning. Um, the core of this one is like apricot, so that's why it looks like that. Um, so I wore this one. This one is backed on fleece, and I got a little bit of blood on this one, but that was it. And then I wore this one. I am team Dado, by the way. So I wore this one and no blood or anything. And this was the third day. So I wore this one to bed on that third day and no blood or anything. This is an 8-inch pad and it's backed on fleece. The fourth day in the morning, I wore this one, and this is like a regular liner. It's backed on fleece and no blood or anything. So then I wore this one, which is like probably a regular to moderate liner. Well, not liner. You can even use it as a pad because it holds a lot, but no blood. So then I wore this one, which I made really fast, and it's kind of wonky and ugly, but it's a Doctor Who pad. Liner. It's backed on flannel. So I wore this one and no blood or anything. So by then I decided that I was over. And now I'm wearing my everyday liners, and that's it. So this period was something else, really. Um, but on a side note, I didn't get to use my Meluna during this period, but I used it in a dry run, and I like it a lot. And this is a new pouch I got for it. It was made by Laura Goret. She's on Facebook, and this was part of a trade. My coupley, I love it. I will never change it. This is a large size. And she also made this shark for it. I love it because of Sharkwick and all of that. And my Diva cup, which's been with me for 5 or 7 years. And I had showed this to you guys before. This is a cuterus that Laura Garrett also made for me. So yes, this period was a little bit crazy. I hope that I never flare up like that again, but it was my fault, kind of, because I was eating um, soups with broccoli, tomato, and um, Spanish salami, and that's a very bad combination for people with IBS. So I kind of asked for it, and I'm certainly not going to do that again. I'm taking better care of myself now. Um, uh, and I hope that next period is a little bit longer because I have so many pretty pads and I didn't get to use them all up. So now I'm just sewing more liners because that's what I use the most, and because my sister, she turned to the other side, so now she is not using disposables anymore. She tried cloth pads. She loved it, and I had made her a stash. You can see my video on my channel, in which I'm sharing the stash I made for her. So because she liked it, now I'm making more regulars and more liners for her, and hopefully, she will never go back again to disposables. So that is all. I hope you liked the video. If you did, please like like it, and hopefully you didn't get disgusted by all the ideas and bloody conversation. Well, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you have a comment or a question, please leave a comment, and I promise I'll answer as soon as I get to it. Thank you. Bye bye.